everybody, this is TJR. You may remember that for a while there, I released a new song recommendation video every Monday. In these videos, I would recommend what I felt were the best 2, maybe 3 songs that I had heard over the weekend. I've always felt very passionate about finding, discovering what I think is great new music, and then sharing it with others, giving it a bigger platform, helping to give it more exposure. This is why I do the Music Worth Buying show with Robert Kinsler, where we recommend new album releases. But as passionate as I felt about doing these videos, I had to eventually just own up to the fact that this was the least watched thing on the channel. The audience just wasn't there, and it just wasn't working out. And with my limited availability of time right now, I felt you really have to just devote as much time as you can to videos that will get a larger response and help you grow the channel. And I said, okay, fine, leave that be for now. But in time, after you've built the channel more and gotten a larger audience, maybe you can come back to this and there'll be more of an audience for it. Now, I'm not saying that this is that time, but over the weekend, I heard a new release track that just so blew me away that I had to make this video. And I'm talking about the remake of the Van Halen song Hot for Teacher by the Bird and the Bee and Beck. Now, if you don't know who Bird and the Bee are, they are an American indie pop musical duo from Los Angeles, consisting of vocalist Inara George, the Bird, and Greg Kurstin, the Bee. Kurstin is a 7-time Grammy Award-winning producer and multi-instrumentalist, and their music could be described as jazz-influenced electropop. I remember when I heard their first album, though, I described them as sounding a lot like the Carpenters, only with a whole lot more F-bombs. Now, if you're familiar with the Bird and the Bee, you might be thinking, well, that's kind of weird, them remaking a Van Halen tune, but I don't think so at all. On their second album, entitled Ray Guns Are Not Just the Future, there is a track entitled Diamond Dave, wherein lead singer Inara George sings about her high school crush and devotion for David Lee Roth. So this doesn't surprise me at all. So after researching this track, I then discover that they have already released 2 previous Van Halen covers, a cover of Ain't Talking About Love and a cover of Panama. And these are all advanced singles for an upcoming Van Halen tribute album. So let's talk about the track. First, Eddie Van Halen's original electric guitar introduction, that arpeggio lead that he played on guitar, that then suddenly kind of spun out of control like a racetrack driver who hits the side of the road. And I mean that in a really great way. Well, this introduction is played entirely on the piano, and it's a revelation to hear it on the piano. It feels so incredibly neoclassical / jazz experimental, and it is played on the piano note for note. Now, remember those little raps that David Lee Roth did in between the verses? You know, hey, I wonder what teacher's going to look like this year. Well, stepping into that part is Beck. And Beck does not deliver any of the original lines from the song. Instead, he has a new set of lines that I will describe as sounding like the kind of cheesy dialogue that you would have heard in a 70s porn flick. Not that I would know how that sounds, of course. These raps are hysterical in the best possible kind of juvenile 16-year-old humor that is possible. After that, we move on to the main course of this song, which is Inara George's wonderfully sensuous vocals. And I love how she just embraces the raunch and the nastiness of this song. Eddie Van Halen's electric guitar solo in the middle of the song is replaced with an equally excellent acoustic jazz piano instrumental solo. And I swear to God, I actually want to get the album just so I can find out who played piano on that track. Now, I consider myself a serious Van Halen fan, but I can also see where a reworking of this track that is as radical as this could cause some divisiveness amongst fans. If this version is just too different for you, hey, I understand. But for me, this remake works on absolutely every single level. This is one of the best remakes of any well-known rock song that I have heard in quite some time. And I'm going to recommend you go check it out. There's a link under the description. Go listen to it and let me know what you thought, good or bad. Just be respectful. This is TJR. If you like what I'm doing and if you want to see me possibly come back to doing this more, please click like, click subscribe, and ring the bell so you can know when I release new videos. There will be a link for the Patreon floating overhead soon and also underneath. Please follow the link. Any pledge you make will be greatly appreciated, even if it's a one-time pledge or an ongoing pledge. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.